So most of us are probably aware that the video game industry is not exactly a place of innocence. We had stories from Ubisoft, amongst many other publishers and studios coming out, employees stepping out on the streets protesting against harassment and against unjust treatment of women in those work environments. It's been going on for years, probably it's been going on for decades, but I think a lot of those stories have just in recent times been brought to our attention. And now we're going into the next round of that story. This time is Activision Blizzard, who's being sued actually by the state of California, the Department of Fair Employment and Housing in particular. And they have really serious allegations that they've accumulated and researched well over a few years. We're going to get into this story in a minute, but before we do that, I want to give you guys a little bit of a background, because this is not new to a company like Activision. So we had this story, for example, in 2010. Activision boss loses legal battle over harassment case. And in the article, basically, they talk about that Bobby Kotick and Andrew Gordon, who's the head of the LA branch of Goldman Sachs, were flying in a private jet, and there apparently was a very attractive flight attendant, and they were calling out, including I think the pilot was also involved as well, the pilot of that private plane, and they called her out to be her arm candy, right? You're my arm candy, girl. You know, you can be with me, we go out for dinner, and then you can imagine what happens after that. Now, this flight attendant respectfully declined and said, I'm okay. I don't want to be your arm candy. To which the man allegedly decided to set out to make her life miserably, including one instance where they made her clean the plane's toilet while he, in particular this pilot, stood there leering at her. Okay. You know what I mean? It's like middle-aged degradation tactics. You have to kind of play someone down. You have to kneel down now because you declined my offer to F you. So kneel down and clean the toilet. This is the world that these people are living in. Okay, you have to try to get your head into that mindset. It is pretty messed up. Anyway, these things were then brought up to Kotick later on, and he would have had the power to make a decision to stop this kind of thing. But what did he do? He fired the flight attendant. He was like, yeah, you know, she's kind of creating a cringy atmosphere, so we had to let her go. I'll link this article. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'll link it down in the description. So there seems to be already this kind of culture going on within Activision, within these people, where it seems to be okay. It seems to be okay to let this slip and not really take action that would lead to stopping it, because we have bigger problems, right, than a few women being offended. Another interesting remark is that in Jeffrey Epstein's little black book, where he had all the contacts, right, of people that he socialized with, his friends. And luckily, that book is publicly available. I'll link it down in the description. You can go to page number 31, and we have Bobby Kotick there with an Activision email address. Imagine having your Activision email address in Jeffrey Epstein's book. That's not good. That's not a good thing. And now it all culminates. The story has just come out a few hours ago, and basically this is the article on Bloomberg Law. And get ready for this. I mean, it's really messed up, okay? Anyway, let's just read through it. So they give a bit of an introduction. They're being sued by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing. As I said, a 2-year investigation by the state agency found that the company discriminated against female employees in terms and conditions of employment, including compensation, assignment, promotion, and termination. Company leadership consistently failed to take steps to prevent discrimination, harassment, and retaliation, the agency said. So far, it's like, okay, yeah, we know it's the video game industry. It's horrible. At this point, we're so numb. You know, we even accept that a certain degree of harassment against women is just normal in these studios. This part is not even a surprise. That's what I'm saying. It's good Lord. According to the complaint filed Tuesday in the Los Angeles Superior Court, female employees make up around 20% of the Activision workforce and are subjected to pervasive frat boy workplace culture, including cube crawls, in which male employees drink copious amounts of alcohol and then crawl their way through various cubicles in the office and often engage in inappropriate behavior towards female employees. Damn! Okay, I'm laughing, but it's really effed up, man. You don't do this kind of stuff. If I would be in an office and that stuff would happen right in front of me, I would go there and say, man, we don't do that. You can't do that. Obviously, if you're just the intern, you know, you don't have the power, and you see the guys in the higher ranks kind of participating in those cube crawls. I did not cube crawling was a thing, and it sounds really messed up. Imagine you have a deadline, you know, you're just a girl, you're sitting there doing your work. I'm sure people at Activision have a lot of work to do, but here come these guys completely drunk, you know, harassing you and annoying you and just wasting it. It just sucks, man. These people are adults. hopefully, right? And they cannot understand that they're acting like freaking monkeys when they go into cubicles harassing women. This stuff is intentional, okay? You can't tell me that they're like, oh, well, we were a bit drunk, and we were just having... No, man, you're harassing a person and you know it, and you're being an a-hole about it. So don't make this out to look any different than what it is, right? Reading this stuff, and there are some of the reports, I'll link all the references down in the description. You can read it yourself. It is really messed up. It goes on to say, the agency alleges male employees play video games during the workday while delegating responsibilities to female employees, engage in sexual banter, and joke openly about RAPE, among other things. And of course, the gut reaction for many men is, it's just banter. Men make banter. It's just how it is. But there's a thin line to cross. And imagine this kind of environment from the perspective of a woman. Everywhere you go, people make these kind of really insulting jokes. People come to your cubicle, harass you. We're not done, right? We continue. If you feel at this point of the video, it's just all just banter and everyone's just having fun, right? It's just men having fun. Then you should try to change your perspective into the angle of a woman, okay? Try to sit there as a woman and you basically just want to get your work done. That's what you want to get your work done. You don't want to get in trouble with anyone. And all this stuff comes down on you, man. It's just terrible. As we go on, female employees allege being held back from promotions because of their responsibility. They might become pregnant. They're being criticized for picking up their children from daycare. There are reports of them being kicked out of meeting rooms when they were breastfeeding because other men needed the room. Little things like this. Female employees working for the World of Warcraft team noted that male employees and supervisors would hit on them, make derogatory comments about RAPE, and otherwise engage in demeaning behavior, the agency alleges. And at this point, you can say, oh, well, it's just some women making claims. I don't know if any of this really happened and they're just exaggerating. No, listen, this is a 2-year investigation by a state agency. People have put work into this. If this is what it says here, this is most likely what happened. Because they wouldn't make these claims if it wouldn't be backed up by some kind of evidence. I think we can rely on that. The suit also points to a female Activision employee who took her own life while on a company trip with her male supervisor. The employee had been subjected to intense sexual harassment prior to her death, including having photos without clothes of her passed around at the company holiday party, the complaint says. Oh man, that is a new low, that is a new low point. I've tried to Google up on this. I couldn't find the details. I think probably Activision and Blizzard, they did a great, fabulous job of kind of, pushing it under the rug so nobody hears about this beforehand. I assume it's been a few years back. But, man, she's on a company trip with her supervisor. Previously, she's been exposed to all this kind of stuff, including photos of her naked being handed around at like a holiday party of the company. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what that means to a woman? It's, man, this is messed up. I mean, how can a company have an incident like this and not do some serious investigation into where it comes from, where it stems from, how we can stop it? Like, this is presumably a few years back. That is unbelievable. Like, that's unreal. You can only imagine if you want to rise in the ranks in a company that is built around an attitude like we've seen it here, like we've described it, how hard work it is to rise in the ranks and what you have to endure. Like it said here, she was already exposed to the harassment and all the things happened, and then she took her own life on a company trip. Okay, so that's the point where the fun kind of ends. The agency seeks an injunction forcing compliance with the workplace protection, unpaid wages, pay adjustments, lost wages, blah. We value diversity and strive to foster a workplace. So that's the comment from Activision. I can't even read it because it's so disgusting, right? Right after they mention this woman taking her own life, now you get a comment like that where they speak about how they value diversity and strive to foster a workplace that offers inclusivity for everyone, blah, blah, blah. You can read it for yourself. I'm not going to read this because it is a response like that to the things that we just spoke about. Man, normally in a case like that, I would say something in that person's head is not right. But we're not talking about a person here. We're talking about a company. So something within this company is so wrong and so broken that they think it's okay to release a statement like this after these allegations, these stories come out. The story leaves me speechless, guys. I don't know what to say anymore. It's absolutely shocking. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, though, down in the comment section below. Please share your thoughts. Do you think Activision Blizzard should have serious consequences for this? And how should they look? What should happen to a company like this? What can we do to stop harassment and things like this from happening in this industry? Because it casts such a dark shadow over the whole industry. And it's disgusting, man. A story like this is freaking disgusting. So share your thoughts down in the comments, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Bye.